I took that off with one hand. Gangster. All right, y'all, welcome back to Philly D's Garage. So we got the Buick GS in here right now. I gotta put a master cylinder in it. It went bad on me, so if y'all don't know, the master cylinder is right here. This piece right here is sticking right out from your brake booster, right down there. On most cars, I haven't seen any cars that start at a different spot, but your master cylinder will be right here if you was wondering. Let me show y'all exactly what my master cylinder is doing and how I know it was going bad. But now that I'm thinking about it, it's been going bad for a while now actually. So let me show y'all what it's doing. Basically, it's a couple of ways you can tell when your master cylinder is going bad. But in my case, let me show you what it's doing. If you put your foot on the brake pedal, you know, excuse me, you know, usually when you press the brake pedal, it should get hard, okay, and it should stay hard. But in my case, like, I put my foot on the pedal and I go down, and as you can see, it keeps drifting down. It keep going, it'll just keep going all the way to the floor. All right, so that's just one way how you know that your master cylinder is going bad on you. Another way is it'll leak out here on the side too. On the side of the master cylinder, you'll see it leaking down here, or you might have the brake fluid leaking inside of your brake booster itself. You don't want that to happen, because then you'll have possibly two components that's bad: your brake fluid, your master cylinder, and your brake booster. Because once you get fluid in there, I mean, you could probably save it maybe, but you can mess the diaphragm up that's inside of there also. So but yeah, those are a couple of ways. So if your foot is sinking to the floor like mine is, your seals internally are no good. The seals inside of the master cylinder is going bad. So that's a easy way to find out if your master cylinder is going bad. So I'm gonna rip this thing out. We're gonna get started on this thing, and let's get this bad boy out. So it's real easy, y'all. You gotta do is, first you want to make sure you get the lines off of your master cylinder broke loose before you take all this loose, because if you take your mounting bolts loose, then you won't have nothing to hold your master cylinder in place to get these brake lines off right here. All right, so first you want to get the right size wrench to get those lines off, break those loose, get them out. Then once you get those out, then you want to take your mounting bolts off. But I'm moving ahead of myself. First thing I want to do though is get something and suck your brake fluid out. Hold on. So as you can see, that's full. So if you start taking off these brake lines down here, it's just gonna drip everywhere. It's gonna drip regardless, but y'all just gotta get something to suck it out. So something like this, like a little turkey baster or something, and then you get it, come in here, suck it out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get mine sucked out real quick. Get the right wrench to get these bolts loosened. You might want to spray a little bit of PV Blaster on these so they come out a little easier. Let's get it, y'all. All right, y'all, so I'm sucking out the brake fluid now. Just wanted to show y'all what it looks like and what you can use. I wanted to show you this fluid ain't too bad looking at all, really. But if your brake fluid is like super, you know, dirty and black, then you definitely need to just do a complete brake flush. Don't even wait around. Just get all that old fluid out of there and put brand new fluid in there, because more than likely it got a lot of moisture in it also. So you want to get all that out of there. So this is what it looks like. All you want to do is just get something like this, suck it out, and you know, put it into whatever container you're using, like the one I got right here. So yeah, y'all, that's how you suck it out real quick. And real quick, y'all, while I'm at it, since we on this brake fluid topic, it's a big, you know, I guess a debate out there that, you know, when is it necessary to change your brake fluid, or when is it necessary to get a brake flush? Man, I don't even want to tell y'all a specific time, because honestly, like with brakes, like you can go 15-20 years with never ever touching your brake fluid, you know what I mean? But if you want your brakes to be optimal, and you want to make sure that your brakes are working 100%, you know what I mean, I would recommend to get your brakes done, your brake flush, at least once or twice a year. I mean, once or twice every hold on, I totally got that wrong. Every 2 years, okay? Every 1 or 2 years, get it flushed out. But honestly, look, it's up to your discretion, man. Like, man, I can't say that as a mechanic though. Like, here's the deal: if you go into a shop and a mechanic recommends a brake flush to you, and you like, damn, when the last time I did a brake flush? Then maybe it's a good time for you to do it. All right, that's a perfect time to do a brake flush when you can't remember the last time you got one. Let's just put it at that. All right. And to be honest, on my own car, I think the last time I did a brake flush was maybe 6 years ago. All right, so, and you know, I don't really drive this car as much, but still, with your car sitting there, it's even worse for your brake fluid. So I'm more than, you know, I need a brake flush myself. So I just wanted to get that out there. You know what I mean? If a mechanic recommends a brake flush to you, they ain't necessarily trying to run in your pockets. You know, they could be doing you a good favor. So just take that, run with it. Let's keep it moving. All right, y'all, so I got all the most of this brake fluid sucked out. If you guys got a electrical, well, most of y'all cars will have a switch on your reservoir. You want to unplug that, make sure you get that off. I almost got these the lines out. I already broke them loose with the with the heat and the vice grips. Now you can just use your regular damn it, where'd I put it at? It's a regular 13 millimeter, instead of using your line wrench, which is what you want to use to break it loose. Because if you use a regular wrench like this, you know, you might strip it out, because this is, see how it is, and then see how this one is. So it's meant to get in there and just really grip it up, like really grip it up. So you want to break it loose with this one, and then you can go in there with this one and just finish taking it off, because it's already loose. All right, you might, like I said, you might need a vice grip to grip it up, get it off if your wrenches aren't working. Now, the other thing I wanted to tell you guys, damn, we ain't got no lighting. Brake fluid is very corrosive. Like, whatever it gets on, it's gonna eat it up, your paint, whatever. So you don't want to get brake fluid on anything. And as you can see, I don't know if y'all can see down there, but I put tiles down there to catch this brake fluid that's about to come out of this thing, because that's a $4,000 transmission right there, and I don't want brake fluid all over my transmission or in it. I don't want it on there. So I put some rags down there to cover it up. Your wire, see my brake horn, I mean my main harness right here is right there, so you don't want brake fluid all up in there, messing up your wires and shit like that. So you might want to put something down and cover some stuff up. All right, definitely covering up that tranny right there. That tranny costs more than this damn car. So, so that's what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna get that switch off. We're gonna pull this line the rest of the way out. They already loosened up. Then after that, we're gonna go down there and get these bolts here. There's one on each side. I think they're 15 millimeters. Then after that, this thing will come right out. So the brake, those lines are out from the master cylinder. They're all the way out now. I went and got a extension, 15. Here's a 15 with a little bit of wobble, so you can have that wobble if you need it. Extension, snap on. It ain't got to be snap on. And we got a Craftsman wrench. All right. So this is what you're going to need, unless you got another way to get in there. Plenty of space, but this is the route that I took, and that's the route that I'm taking. So now we just spinning off those bolts. Just a little bit more. This one, they're already loose. Got that one. We gonna spin this bad boy out, baby. Yo, this brake fluid got me paranoid as fuck, yo. I don't want this brake fluid anywhere on anything. Look at this, guys. I told y'all to take out the connector, and I didn't even take my connector out yet. Look at that. Now we gotta get her out. Make sure the lines is out the way. Some of that inside footage. Y'all see it? Y'all see how it's coming out right there? Oh, wow, you gotta wiggle it off. Right. I don't know if y'all ever seen a master cylinder come off, but they're all pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. So I just did a Range Rover not too long ago, and I could have sworn I was gonna have to take off all types of shit to get this thing out, and I didn't. It was easier than this. I took that off with one hand. Gangster. All right, so let's see if we can get this thing out, because these are all tangled up. Ah, you little bastard. Watch my supercharger, bro. I don't want none of that. All right, y'all. We got her out. Make sure you don't drop no brake fluid anywhere. I should have had a rag, but I had you guys on the other hand. We're gonna lay him there. That's the old one. That's the new one. We're pretty much done, y'all. It's not even that hard. It's real easy. Real easy. I'm gonna show y'all the inside. Here's the inside, so. Oh yeah. I'm gonna clean it up a little bit. Make it look pretty in there. Make sure y'all get your connector up out the way. All right, clean it off with a little bit of electrical cleaner. I don't even know if I got any, but as y'all can see, a lot of that fluid came out. It wasn't that much, but it was enough to mess up some shit. That's why I put those rags down there. So, all right, let's keep it pushing, y'all. So now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna turn this light off because these batteries be dying. All right, y'all, so what we're gonna do now is first get a rag so I can wipe my hands. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put brand new fluid in here. That's done with. We don't need that no more. This is trash. As you can see, I got a brand new reservoir, cap, and everything. So only thing different with this is, with the old one and the new one, is this is how it's set in the car, like this. This is how it's sitting in the car. As I can see, the connector is on this side though. On this one, it's gonna sit in the car same way, but the connector is on this side. I'm gonna sit in the car, it'll be over here. Which don't make a difference. Oh, look at that. Look at that, what is that? Yeah, so it don't make a difference, it'll still work. So they just mounted it on the other side of the reservoir instead of that side. So I got the brake fluid right here. We're gonna use this stuff, .3 Johnson's. So it's .3 or .4. So if you look at your brake fluid, the top of your reservoir, and it says .3, then you need to use .3. Don't use nothing different. Use .3, unless you get something like this that's .3 or 4, or if you get .4 and it says it's compatible for .3, then you do that. But other than that, you use whatever at the top of your cap says. Here, this says .3 also. So that's what we're gonna do. I put on my little kit, my little mini vac kit. Let's see, let me show you guys. Mini vac MV 8500. I done had that for, I don't know, maybe 6 years. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bench bleed it first, and then, I mean, you could do it on a car too, don't matter. You know what, guys, let me figure out how I'm gonna bleed this thing, hold on. So I decided to bench bleed it first. So what you gotta do is, like I showed you guys earlier, I already had the lines in here set up, so that just made things easier from the last job that I did. So you just take these lines, you screw them into the same holes like we did when we took it off, the old one. You screw them in, then you get these lines here, you attach them to the nipple, and then you slide them back into the reservoir. All right, so once you get it set in the reservoir, you gotta press this plunger in and out, in and out. And as you do it, the bubbles will come out of the master cylinder and back up top. So let's get a plunger, show you. You don't need nothing too big. You just need something that you can use to depress it. So all you're gonna do is you want to take your tool. This is what I got here. You're gonna put it right in there, just like that. You're gonna press it in. Hold on, let's see if I can get you guys a little. Now watch this line here, and you're gonna see the bubbles come out as I press it in. So let's get it real quick. See the bubbles, and then you let it go. You don't want to do it too hard. Just do it, you know, like you're pressing a brake with your foot. Just go, you know, press it down, then let it go. Now if you got a heavy foot, you know, don't press it like that. All right, just gently. All right, you want to press it in. See the bubbles? Then release it. You don't want to go too fast either. You want to, like, you know, let it sit for a little bit. Let the bubbles come up, you know, slowly. You're going to do that over and over and over until you don't see no bubbles at all. Now, the reason why it's better to bench bleed your master cylinder opposed to doing it in a car is because there's a lot of reasons why. You got more control over your master cylinder. You can move it however way you gotta move it to bleed it right. You can have it, keep it level. When it's in your car, it's not really, you know, your car could be sitting like this, it could be sitting like this. So if it's not sitting on the right angle, you're not gonna get all that fluid out, you know, all the air out, possibly, because of the way it's sitting. So it's just better, you just got more control over how you're bleeding it when it's on a bench, because you got more control over it. So That's pretty much why some would recommend bench bleeding it opposed to trying to bleed it on a car. Now, the thing I usually do is I'll bench bleed it and then I'll still bleed it once I get it on a car. I mean, it's just an extra step you can do. You don't have to do it, but it is what it is. So that's how you bleed it. That's how you bench bleed. Like I said, you just keep doing that until all of the bubbles stop showing and you know all the air is out. Then you want to make sure obviously it's topped off. Then you put it back in your car the same way you took it out. Make sure you don't have no spongy brake. If you got a spongy brake, then that means there's still air in your system. So, you know, even if you do your master cylinder bench bleed it the right way here, you may still have air in your system in your car from maybe a previous job or something like that. So just be aware of that. So I'm gonna finish bleeding this and then throw this bad boy in the car. All right, so one more thing, y'all, because I don't want to let y'all go without letting y'all be aware of this. When you're taking those lines off, you got to be careful, y'all. If you want to attempt this job, you got to be careful now. Let me move this out the way. So there you go. So this is your brake line right here, right? So when you go to screw these off, sometimes they can be so seized on there that this whole line right here can like break off with it. You know, especially if it's rusted that bad. Like mine wasn't even rusted, but it was just hard as hell to come off because it's never been off. So just be careful when twisting these lines. Like if you go to twist these lines out and it look like the line itself is twisting with the fitting, then you already know that you about to break. All right, you about to break. So either you want to stop before you go any further, or you want to just go further because you already know you're gonna repair it. But just be aware of that before you attempt to take these off, because they can break. All right, and if you do break these, okay, you see this end piece here, that's a flare. So you will have to use a tool to flare that, to get it just like this. All right, because if it's not like this, then this fitting here, it's not going to sit on there right. So you got to get that flare just right. If you don't get that flare right, y'all gonna be doing this job again until you get it right. All right, I'm gonna show y'all real quick what a flare tool looks like if y'all don't know. What are these guys doing? Oh no, they doing some shit. So here you go. I got another kit somewhere too, but this is the one that I keep in my drawer in this toolbox. So this is a flare kit. They got all different types of kits. You know, they got hydraulic kits, they got $10,000 kits, they got $30 kits. So you just choose what you want to use. But this is how you flare. This is what you would use to flare a brake line. Okay, that you need this piece, and you need your dies. These dies is what gives you the size of your brake line. Okay, so be careful when you're taking off those fittings, because if you don't have a kit or if you don't know how to do it, man, you're gonna be stranded for a minute. So, yo, I ain't used this thing in a, what the? I know what this is. It's a ratchet, but it's like a palm ratchet. So it goes on your socket, and then it's a ratchet. It's meant so you could just get in like tight spots. I haven't used that in a long time. So yeah, man, make sure y'all be ready to have to deal with that situation if you have to. All right, you gotta be ready to flare that line if that happens. So I'm in good shape. So my little fitting is a little chewed up a little bit, but it is what it is. I'll put a fitting on if I have to, but all right. So yeah, like I was saying, let me get this bad boy in there, and I give y'all last clip of that hard break it's gonna have. All right, y'all, we back. I just wanted to show y'all how much time that went by. 3-4 hours, man. It's starting to get dark, but let me give y'all the scoop. First of all, we got brakes, so that's not worried about that. Second of all, let me get a light. They all charging because they're all dead, because I've been going through hell with this shit. I ain't used this light in 4 years, and it still works. So here we go. As you guys can see, we got 1 master cylinder, 2 master cylinder, and we got the 3rd one in the car, okay? Long story short, I was lazy, so I ordered my first brake master cylinder from Rock Auto. So the part number for that is AC Delco 18M819. That is the part number. If you go on Rock Auto right now for 2000 Buick GS supercharged, you will see that. And they say it fits my car, and it don't. So here's the deal. You guys don't know how mad I am right now. So this is it right here. Okay. Now, when I got it, I'm like, okay, it's aftermarket, so maybe they changed some shit, because they do that with aftermarket stuff. So I seen that they had to switch over here instead of over here. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. Then I did notice the shape of the reservoir was different. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe they changed that, because y'all gotta remember, it's AC Delco. So I'm like, how can AC Delco fuck up? It's a GM part, right? So then I'm looking at the body. I'm like, that looks pretty similar. I go to mount it up with the mount right here. It fit, everything fit. Then I realized the fittings that this thing came with, like, it would fit in a car just like this with these fittings if the ABS unit wasn't in the way. So y'all see the ABS unit is right here. So as y'all can see where the fittings are at now, so just imagine those little adapters there. These lines wouldn't fit with those adapters there. There wouldn't be no space, okay, unless you move the ABS out the way. I'm not doing that. So it's not what you're supposed to do. Now, if you take the fittings off, like I did, because I was like, okay, let me just take the fittings off. So I took these fittings off, and then once you take the fittings off, it's gonna look just like this, okay? Just like this, without the fittings. But these holes on here, back here, are way too big, okay? So my fittings over here, these fittings right here, would just slide right in because they too small. Long story short, guys, do not order that AC Delco GM or /GM part number, because it's not going to work. All right, so I got one from the local store, which is why it is now 4 hours later, okay? And I put it in, plug and play, as you guys can see. And actually, that's another thing I wanted to tell y'all. This kit actually came with a bleeding kit, okay? Remember, the AC Delco kit didn't come with it. I had to use my own, my previous that I kept from other jobs. I had to use my own. But this cheap kit, I don't even know the name of it. This kit came with it. Now, it did come with the kit, but these fittings did not fit on the master cylinder that was in the damn box. I don't understand it. These fittings right here, as you can see, they still in there. They don't fit the damn master cylinder that was in the box. So everything just got worse and worse and worse. So I just put the master cylinder on a car, and I bled it with it in the car. Okay, so originally, like I told you guys, I had the vents bleeded, but remember that reservoir was wrong. Okay, but everything that I didn't said in this video, everything still stands. Everything is still correct. It was just the wrong fucking master cylinder. All right, so here we go. All the steps are still right. You still follow those steps. So I ended up bleeding it from here, and I ended up bleeding it all the way around each wheel. So as you can see, there's fluid. There's fluid. And most of this is brake fluid too, because I cleaned it up after I was done. You know, fluid on the other side. I bled all 4 wheels, y'all. So guess what? Let's just get in and check the pedal. Let's check the pedal. All right, we inside the car now. Here we go. Here's my foot on the pedal. Press down. Man, that pedal ain't going nowhere. That pedal is stiff as a rock. We in there, we good. We good. Now, for all my 3800 W body guys, I do got an XPZ cam in here. So, I know ZZP, or they got it stated on their website or something, like the XPZ cam might affect your vacuum just a little bit. But not where it would make it feel like you need a master cylinder. All right, so you ain't got to worry about the XPZ cam doing all that. Another thing, if you guys are feeling a spongy pedal and you know it's not area system or none of that shit, and you thinking it's your master cylinder, you might also want to check the vacuum of your engine, because if you're having an intake problem or supercharger problem, that can affect your vacuum for your brakes. Okay, so that's for any car out there. It don't matter if it's 3800, no matter what it is. Your intake, you know, can affect your vacuum. So you might want to check that and check any vacuum leaks, any hoses and shit like that, because it's a few things that can affect your brakes. And honestly, also thought for a minute there, I thought my brake booster was going bad. So I mean, it's crazy because when you're in the head of a mechanic, we know so many things that can cause problems with one thing. So sometimes we could jump to conclusions, but that's why you gotta diagnose shit. And you know what I mean, I almost sat there and put a booster in my car myself, you know what I mean, just because I thought like I was thinking wrong, you know. But I kept going and, you know, figured out what I had to figure out. But yeah, man, so yeah, do not buy this thing here. Don't buy it. I got fooled because I thought it'd be Bando's AC Ducko. I'm just thinking, you know, it's AC Ducko. How can it go wrong? How can it be wrong? I can't even go on my, where's my phone at? This is how mad I am. I'm about to go on my phone. I should go in here right now and show y'all, like, exactly. Hold on, y'all. Let me see. Because if I can help one person out, that's what I'm going to do. Look, show y'all right here. Look at this. Y'all see this? Rock Auto, right? Part number 18M819. I'm reading that correctly, right? 18M. I know it's kind of blurry. Fucking GoPro. But that's what it is. 18M819. That's what they sent me. This is not the box. I just wrote on this box. This is the box from the John down the street. But this is the part number that I'm trying to tell y'all not to order, because it's not right. But it's listed under my car. I'm gonna show y'all that too. 2000 Buick. Let me see, bro. Hold on, y'all. Let me pull this up, because this is gonna go for any W body, any. Hold on, do y'all see my car right there? You see that 2000 Regal? Why is it so blurry? Like, I don't get it. But y'all see that 2000 Regal 33.8 V6 supercharged. Y'all can see that. Man, so, all right. So, the brakes is good, y'all. The brakes is back. I got brakes. Only thing I can imagine is that it's from my car, from sitting so long. Like, cause I'll drive this car, but then it might sit for 2-3 months. You know what I mean? And then I'll drive it for a week, 2 weeks. Then it'll sit for 2-3 months. I don't drive this thing every day because it's loud. It's so much horsepower. You know what I mean? I gotta leave it. I can't keep it on the streets, man. I'm gonna get locked up. It's something. It's too vicious. You know what I'm saying? So I try to give it some time, some breaks, some downtime. I mean, to relax. You know, because he get too hyped like the Incredible Hulk or something. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm thinking that's why maybe or possibly certain things went bad with this car. Was going bad because this master cylinder was perfectly fine. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like when your car's sitting for so long, then I said you just want to use it out of nowhere, seals go bad, seals rot out, seals get dry. You know what I mean? And then when you start your car up, you want to shoot that fluid right past some seals. It's gonna go right past the seals. You know what I mean? It's that simple. I mean, this car's set for a while. I mean, when I say set, I mean it sits repeatedly for a while. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the only thing I could think of why that master cylinder went bad. And then the fluid, right? The fluid itself goes bad from sitting there. So if your brake fluid just sits forever and it gets water in it, you know, it collects moisture, it's gonna make your seals go bad. You know what I mean? Y'all get the picture. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna call that a fix. I got brakes now. You guys see the midi vac. Got the midi vac right here. Shows y'all the part number earlier. Check it out. I mean, it might take y'all 1 or 2 master cylinders to get it right, but Philly D messed up. You know what I mean? I got the wrong part. I don't know. Did I mess up or did Rock Auto mess up? I don't know. I don't even want to blame myself because that wouldn't be right. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. That's how you do it. And this applies to any car with a master cylinder. It'd be the same thing. Bleed the brakes. Same exact thing. Same procedure. Like I said earlier. Only thing might be different is you might have to move some shit to get to the master cylinder. But other than that, it's all the same, man. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. You guys hit the like button if you liked it. Share it. Subscribe to the channel. And I'll check y'all on the next one. All right, y'all. So I got my little torch here. My little Power Probe torch. So if you have to use heat, use something small like this. Don't use nothing too big because you don't want to burn some shit up. But put it right here on the housing, like where I got it at, where I'm shaking it. You want to put the heat right there because that's where it's seized up if you need heat. So just keep it there for a little bit, heat it up. And as you can see, I had to use my vice grips because it's so seized in there. So I got my vice grip locked on there. So once I'm done heating this up a little bit, I'm gonna twist that and take it right off. So here y'all go, a little bonus footage.